Hello, guys. Good evening to you all, and welcome to this session today. Okay, so basically, what we'll be doing today is about DOM manipulation, like the topic implies today. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about DOM manipulations and also some code examples to illustrate what we're gonna be doing today, right? So let's go to our folder and yeah, JavaScript, and let's open this folder. First of all, let's create a folder called today's date is 29. So we can just say today. Okay, so underscore 29, underscore 12, then underscore 23. Okay, or 2023, like this. Okay, so this is the new folder for today. So we're just going to open this folder in our VS Code. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. So you guys already know the folder structure, so we always do that. Okay, so basically we want to create the files and the folders. So first of all, we can start with the CSS folder, and this create participant might take some time. So I would want to right click and new and create the JavaScript folder here. Okay, while the CSS folder is still creating, so I can also create the images folder here. So say images, just like this. Okay, images, and we're gonna wait a bit. So the CSS should be on its way coming. So let's check it out and see what's going on there. It's still ongoing, so we can actually leave it and ignore it for now. Okay, it has finished, and you can see the three of them is there. So the next thing we want to do is to create our index, which is our entry point of our program. So we say index.html. Okay, so that's it, and we'll bring out the boiler code for the HTML. So we can just say done manipulation. We just got the title as done manipulation. Okay, so that's the title of this our code today. So we use Ctrl J to open the terminal so that we can actually output our code there. So basically what we want to do here, we just want to do some few things there. Okay, so basically let's use each one to output something to the screen. Okay, so bring it to the next line. So say h1, and yeah, we just want to say welcome to DOM manipulation. Okay, because that's what I want to do today. So say welcome to DOM manipulation. Okay, welcome to DOM manipulation, like that basically. So let's try to output it to the screen and see what's going on there. So here we just drag it out a bit like this so that it will be a bit bigger. So here we just go live so that we can actually see or render the contents to our browser. All right, so that being said, we just hold on a bit and boom, you can see it. Welcome to DOM manipulation, right? So that is it. Then the next thing we want to do, let's just give it some title, or let's just create some CSS files there, and we might want to style it later on. Okay, so let's create style.css. Okay, so here we just link the CSS. So underneath the title, inside under the that's inside the head element, so we just bring a link element and we'll specify the absolute part, which is the css, and the style of css. So basically that's it. So inside the css we want to create an id selector, and let's call this id selector, let's just give it like main title. So this is what we're going to use to style our document. Okay, so we just call it color, and we'll give it maybe we give it red. Okay, so and yeah, so that's what we want, just want to do. Okay, so we just give it some background color. Let's give it some background color. Let's give it background color of okay, let me say black. Sorry, black. Okay, and let's give it some border radius, like okay. So basically let's try to use this code in our index.html. So inside this place, which is the opening tag of the h1, we might just want to do id. This is an id selector with the equal to and the two double quotes. Then we'll copy and paste in that our uh, ID selector we did inside this CSS. So as you can see, it is working fine. So basically, we want to do like center, there's align tests, okay, or which is just let's just do test align. So we just put it at the center like that. Okay, so you can see it has been moved to the center, and that's what we want. So today we are doing DOM manipulation, and that's what we have been. Okay, well, basically let me just make this test white so it will look better. Okay, so yeah, it looks better off now. So the next thing we want to do, which let's just first of all ignore that. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, let's go back to the HTML. At the last line of the body elements, we just want to import the script. So we'll create a script like this, and at the bottom here we want to import it. Okay, so we use the source attribute to import it. Okay, so first of all, let's create the file called scripts.js. Okay, this is script.js. Yeah, so we want to import this file, okay, inside our HTML the way we imported the CSS inside our HTML. Okay, so this time is the source, and we use the absolute part, which is the dot slash. Okay, so we look for the JS folder, and the file that is inside is script.js. Okay, so that is what we actually want, right? So that is what we want to do there. Okay, so basically let's first of all let's try to do something. Okay, inside this our JavaScript we want to do something there. Okay, so first of all we will just call this title, say assessing. Okay, let me just say assessing an element, okay, by ID. Okay, by ID. So we're trying to access an element by ID. This element we created here, right? So first of all, we just come to the bottom using the let command. Okay, so we can just get it like let's just say title element. Okay, this is just a variable name. Okay, so let's say title element is equal to document. Okay, this is it, dot. Okay, and we have an element already that's an ID, so we just say get element. Okay, by ID. Okay, basically that is what we want to do. And what is the name of the element? So we can go back to the CSS and say, okay, this is the element name. So we just copy this element like this and go back to the JavaScript. Okay, so what we want to do, we are trying to access this element. So we open two parentheses like this and to double quote and specify the element that we're trying to get there, right? So that is what we want to do there. Okay, we have already selected, like targeted the element that we're trying to get. So the next thing we want to do, let's try to modify the content that is inside this H1. So we can just call this title. We can just call this one. We say modifying the content within yeah, let's just say, or let's just modify the content. Okay, let's just leave it like that, modifying the content. Okay, so we have already specified we the document, everything that is here, we assigned it to this title element. Okay, so let's try to get this title elements out. Okay, so we say title element. Okay, let's just say dot inner HTML. Okay, so and we want to say let's give it another document. Let's give it another item. So we just want to say let's give it hello DOM. Okay, let's just give it hello DOM and let's see what will happen. Okay, so basically you can see it was changed automatically. Okay, what we did here, we accessed this HTML. Okay, we accessed this content that you are seeing here with this HTML, with this style sheet, this ID style sheet that we added to it. So we are able to manipulate the document that we use this main title to style, right? We're able to access it with this inner HTML. Okay, so basically the H1 element contains that ID that you saw there, which is this ID. Okay, and the next thing we did, we kind of came back to our JavaScript and we used this document dot get element by ID. We used it to select the element that contains this title here, and yeah, and we targeted it with the with this get element by ID, and we specify the ID that we used in the CSS, right? And that's what we did there. Okay, so basically this inner HTML that we actually, we created this variable to hold this content there, and we use this content to set this inner HTML. Okay, we use it to set this inner HTML, and this inner HTML kind of it will allow you to, to modify the content of, of the selected element. Okay, so basically whatever element you might have selected, this inner HTML will allow you, to modify it. So here we passed in another value to this content. Yeah, okay. So this it inner HTML inner HTML allowed us to be able to modify the content that is being stored inside this title element. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. Okay, so let's just take one more example. Let's just take one more example, and that will be all for today. So let's let's first of all clear out all those things. Okay, let's clear out all these things. Okay, and let's go back to our HTML. And what we need to do basically, let's just leave this part. Let's leave the content the way it is. Okay, so let's go back to our JavaScript. It is already linked, so we don't need to link it the second time. So let's create another example. Let's do something. Okay, so first, for instance, let's still try to access. Okay, we'll say accessing the elements by ID. Okay, so we want to access the element by the ID that we have already specified while we are creating these elements. We will use the H1 to print this into the screen, and we give it an ID using the ID selector with this, and we style this ID with this content that is inside the CSS, right? Okay, that's what we did there. Okay, so now inside this JavaScript, we already said we want to try to access the content again, okay, in another pattern. So let's say let title, let's just say title element, let's give it the same name, and let's say let's just give it the same thing. Let's just do something similar to that. Let's say get element. Okay, get element. Did I get it right? Get element by ID. Okay, yeah, okay, sorry, I supposed to be dots, let's say, yeah, let's say we omitted a document because there need to be a document, because whatever thing you see here is a document itself. So we want to first of all specify that this is a document, and then we specify the function we're using to get the document itself. So we want to get the document by its ID, and we'll just come here and copy this ID that we have specified here. Okay, so copy this ID like this and go back to the JavaScript and paste it within the two double quotes and end the statement there. So at the bottom here, we actually want to, modify the document there. So we'll say, let's put it as a comment first. So we'll say modifying, okay, the let's just say modifying the styles dynamically. Okay, so let's give it some dynamic styling. Okay, the let's just say the content or the styles, let's say modifying the styles. Okay, dynamic dynamically. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So basically, let's first of all use this title element that is containing the document already. Okay, so let's use this title elements. Okay, so let's say let's give it dot style. Okay, so we want to do something to it using this style. Okay, then dot color. Okay, so we actually want to set some color property to it. Okay, so let's say let's give it the color. We want to change the color. Okay, let's give it a property or a value, sorry, let's give it a value of blue, and let's see what will happen. Okay, as you can see, it works smoothly. You can see the blue and it is working well. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, let's try to give it something else again. Let's just title element. Okay, let's just say dot style again, and let's just give it some font size. Okay, let's give some font size, and let's just set it to let's just give it like some sizes, like let me just say 20 pixel will be okay. Let's just say 20 pixel. Okay, it looks very very small now, right? So what we come here, we change it to 40 pixel. It will look very large, right? So you can see how we are modifying the content that is here. So basically, we can actually do another thing. We can just say title element dot style. Okay, dot, okay, background color, or let's just say background color. Okay, background, so let's just set it to let's set it to red. Let's see what will happen there. You can see it is just nice, so you can actually play around with it and see how you gonna get it done. It's just as simple as this. Okay, I'll push this code to the GitHub repository, and you guys can find the source code there. Okay, so I already told you guys that the script itself, we use these scripts and this document.get elements and to access this main title ID that we specified in our index.html, right? This is the title. This is the main title ID selector that we use to style our HTML inside the CSS, and we use the JavaScript to access it by using this document.get element by ID, and we specified the name of the element ID that we were trying to access. Okay, so we use this manipulation here to this our form of manipulation by specifying the variable that is holding this content here, and we use the document of style the style elements, and together with the color property color property. Yeah, so and we give it a value, so we're just trying to make some little manipulation there. Okay, so this will be all for now, so I hope to see you guys the next day. Please try to replicate whatever thing I have just done, and do as much as you can to do it perfectly. And if you have a question, if you have any challenge, endeavor to send a message. Okay, so see you and take care, and happy coding. Do not stop coding, and do hard things. Okay, code non-stop and try your best to replicate what I've just done. Okay, so I'm gonna do git add dot, then git commit. Okay, and I'll just say for today done, then git push. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I've done the git push, and this will be, it has been pushed, you can see, successfully to my GitHub repository. All right, so that is it. So I can actually go to my GitHub and to check it out. Okay, so but for now, I hope you guys, you do well to do everything that I just did. It is very good, and I'm giving you guys enough spacing, enough timing for you to be able to do all these things. I'm not rushing you guys. I'm trying to make sure you guys do it accordingly to your strengths, to your own capabilities. Okay, that's why I say I'm not rushing you guys. I give you enough of time for you to do all those things. Okay, so JavaScript, and we have the DOM manipulation, which is today's date is 29. So you can see today we have all this code here, and we have the index.html together with our, you can see DOM manipulation. So you can come here or copy this code and I'll share to the group. Okay, so see you and take care and good night.